my channel. My name is Samantha Rizundu and today we're talking about my favorite makeup items of this year in 2023. I have so much in front of me that I think this will be a long video, so bear with me. I'll try and be as informative and efficient as possible. I have 6 primers. There was a good year for primers, but I also had a lot of primers to try, some good, some bad. So I think we'll just dive right into it. I'll have I'm gonna hope to have everything linked down below. I'll do my absolute best. It looks like I have more than I do because I have like multiple shades of one item in front of me. So I'm trying to not overwhelm myself too much. Anyway, let's start with primers. I'm not gonna have like best to worst or anything like that. They're all just favorites for different reasons. So the first one is the Rimmel Lasting Finish Primer. This is pretty new to me. And it's a skin perfecting primer, day proof primer. So it's got the ever so slight blue tint to it, and like it's basically white, but it's got the slightest blue to it. Anyway, every time I put this on my face, it feels really hydrating, but also prepping the skin for foundation. So for me, this is very much a prepping primer, not a illuminating or blurring. It's just prepping the skin with hydration, but it's not overly dewy, so I really enjoy this. So it says ultra lightweight formula, which I do agree with. So this one, I fell in love with this the moment I tried it. Next is the Emco Beauty Flawless Glow. This is obviously a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. I got the shade 2.5 Fair, and I think I do really like this shade. I think it's pretty much the exact same thing as Charlotte Tilbury. The only thing is, what I like more about the Charlotte Tilbury is the shades, actual colors of the shades. I still really like this one. I do prefer number 2 in the Charlotte Tilbury, but this is pretty much exactly the same formula. Another one is a great one coming into summertime here in Australia. This is the One Size Secure the Sweat Dry Till Dawn Primer. So this is mattifying and sweat resistant. So I don't think it's sweat resistant. We can't stop ourselves from sweating. But I definitely feel like it was mattifying for those people who have really oily skin. This one's good. I will definitely be wearing this all through summer. So this is press it into the skin, wait 1 minute for formula to dry before applying makeup. Yeah, when I put this on, I felt my skin literally drying up like a raisin, but I need that in summer with humidity and oiliness and sweaty. This is something that I need. This is heavy duty. If you need heavy duty, this is it. Next is the new e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. This is not yet in Australia, but I bought this from a British website, Beauty Bay, and I think this is better than the putty primer, and I love the putty primer. This is the liquid version, so they've basically duped how Tatcha now also has a liquid version of their silk canvas. This is like their liquid version of the putty primer, which is duping. This is lovely. This is, I would say, more dry skin friendly. It's got a really nice, smooth, nourishing feel to it. And I think that's what comes with anything that is a liquid. It's just that little bit more liquid. It's more hydrating. So I really enjoy this. I hope it comes to Australia soon so it's easier to access. And then we have 2 Australian brands. Actually, it was 3. 50% Australian. So this is the Kind Collective Blur Perfection Primer. So this is the color correcting soft focus finish. So this one here, it's not like it's got a color to it. It's tinted, but it's not color. What it's doing is just giving a nice perfected base. It's nourishing. It's similar to the Rimmel, but I find that it does have a slight smoothing, blurring effect. So this is a really nice prepping primer. And then lastly for the primers, I have the Australis Dewy and Daring Hydrating Primer. This is the one with niacinamide and peptides. This feels like a really high-end hydrating moisturizer. So you like your Laura Mercier or your Bobbi Brown face base. This feels like those, where it feels like a luxe moisturizer going on your face, but thin enough to still be a really nice primer to prep the skin. I think they nailed it with this one, and I'm not someone that loves hydrating primers because I do my skincare and I am oily, but this one just kind of like weeded through all the hydrating primers and came to the top. So this one I highly recommend. Okay, we're gonna go into, I have 2 powder foundations and then the rest are liquid. I have the Kind Collective. I tried a lot of the Kind Collective this year, so there are a few items in here that I absolutely love. There are some brands where I really did try a lot of their products this year, mostly Australian, whether that was sent to me or I was even focusing on doing full faces of Australian makeup brands throughout the year. So there will be a little bit of a theme of Australian makeup, but it's definitely mixed. There is a mix of Australian, international, so American, British. We have high-end, luxury, drugstore. We've got it all, baby. This one here is an Australian loose natural mineral foundation powder. I have the shade Fair, but there's Fair Warm and Fair Cool. This is the Fair Warm. This is pretty much the same as the Bare Minerals. I find that they have the same amount of coverage. They both have a really nice luminous look, light, natural, absolutely stunning. So this I love because I do have oilier skin, but I honestly think dry skin could wear this too. If you're someone that has dry skin but you like the look of a powder foundation, I highly recommend this Kind Collective one. I do like it more than the New by Nature. I think it's nicer. I think there's a tiniest bit more coverage and it's got a really nice luminous finish, like almost like a finishing powder finish. It's not like luminous, it's just subtle. So if you have dry skin, it doesn't look powdery, you know what I mean? So definitely give that one a try. And then from Makeup Forever, I usually hate pressed powder foundations. I'm kind of getting into it a little bit more, but this one is 10 out of 10. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet. This is the new packaging version. I have the shade 1N06. It's honestly like my perfect shade. It's amazing. I love it. And it just looks smooth. It doesn't look like I have powder on my face. You know how a lot of these pressed powders, they look like you're wearing powder? I feel like this really blended well into the skin. And then I have 4 liquid foundations. I have one high-end and then the rest are drugstore. There was one that I kind of thought about putting in, but I only had a little sample of it. So I'll give an honorable mention to the Rose Ink, the new soft matte foundation. Really nice, but I haven't bought it. I only tried a little sample, but I really enjoyed that. So I'll show a little picture of that. And that's more high-end, clean. Really great for if you're someone with oily skin. A lot of people, a lot of makeup brands do heavy makeup for oily skin, like matte, full coverage. This is a nice light to medium coverage with a soft matte finish. The Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint is for those perfect like no makeup days. Very light coverage, definitely a tint, not a foundation. Just really nice and glowy. It's just slightly evens the skin tone. Just perfect for every day, just to put something on. It makes your skin look really healthy because it's glowy, but it's not like wet looking. It's just like a really healthy skin kind of finish. So for that, I really like this. And because it's one of those kind of everyday products, I like that it's in a squeezy tube, easy to do, and the color range is great. I'm shade number 3. We have the new Rimmel Lasting Finish. This is the reformulated version with skincare benefits. So it's got up to 35-hour wear, hydrating boost with hyaluronic acid and 2% niacinamide and SPF of 20. So this is says it's a full coverage lightweight foundation. I feel like it's like a medium coverage. I think full coverage for me means I cannot see any freckles. I can still see freckles with this, but it's very good coverage. I feel like it has that long wear while still having a really healthy, dewy finish. So that's pretty hard to do, having long wear and dewy at the same time, and I feel like they really nailed it with this one. Speaking of long wear dewy, the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint is one of the nicest products I have tried, and I'm very picky with foundation. I've tried a million foundations. It's like my favorite thing to try in terms of makeup, and this is probably one of the best I've used. I just think it has that long wear. It really is a Superstay, but it looks so healthy on the skin. When someone says they don't like this, I'm like, why? But obviously it's not gonna work for everyone, but I just think it is beautiful. For me, I like to use a little bit. I think if you try and build it up, it can get a little bit too, not cakey, but like too much product on your face, you know? So I really like to wear this as like a sheerer product. I just think it's stunning. The vitamin C, I don't know if that's useful, but the actual product itself is long wear, natural, and hydrating looking. And then lastly, we have the Revlon. For someone who has oily skin, I love a dewy finish. I do. I love it. We have the Revlon Illuminance Skin Caring Foundation, 5% squalane and hyaluronic acid. I have the shade 117. I also got another shade, I can't remember the shade, for my fake tan. This is stunning, absolutely stunning. It's compared to the Makeup by Mario, so it's got that, what's the word, pearlescence in it. It does. It's almost like they've put a little bit of this into it, but it's not so much that you look like a disco ball. The glowish skin tint is more shiny. This is still got a subtleness to it. I would say medium coverage, same idea. It's really hydrating looking. I would say it's not as long wear as this one, but it's still not bad. This just like makes my skin look beautiful. Perfect for dry skin, perfect for mature skin. But honestly, I have oily skin and I still absolutely love it. So I have 3 concealers. My preference with concealer is, I love, if I'm having a dewy concealer, I still need that coverage because I want to do a little bit so it stays in place. So I love the Colossus, but that's not new to me. That's not new to me. What is new to me, they're all full coverage matte finish. So bear with me, okay? Keep in mind, I like a matte finish these days because I do get oily, so I do like something that just stays put, use a little bit and it just stays for the rest of the day. That's what I like about matte concealers. Anyway, the newest one is the Rimmel Multitasker Concealer. This is great. This is duping the Too Faced Multi-Sculpting Concealer, I believe. I have the shade 48 Vanilla. I also have a pinky shade, and I also have the bronze shade. These were sent to me, so they sent me a few. This one is great, definitely full coverage. You only need a little bit, and I just feel like it stays put, doesn't move around, doesn't look cakey. But like anything that is matte and full coverage, less is more. Do not use too much or it will look cakey. I just do a little bit, you know what I mean? From Urban Decay, the Quickie Concealer, hit the nail on the head with this one, they did. The shade 20NN, and I mean, these are all similar. This even says it's a multi-use concealer, 24-hour wear. So same idea, long wear, matte. I want to say this is probably not as matte as the other two. I would say this is more natural matte, but absolutely stunning. I just love it. I love that it's huge. It'll last me forever. I just think Urban Decay nailed it with that concealer. And then we have the Revlon IRL Filter Finish. I have the shade C3, so this for me is a cooler brightening shade. So I tend to wear this more when I'm doing like a full glam and I want the brightening under eye. This is a soft matte concealer, and I would agree with that. It also says it's waterproof. I don't know about that, but yes, definitely. I would say for a matte, it feels lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy. I just think it's a really nice, creamy, blendable, long wear, soft matte finish. And if you're wanting super affordable, this is it. So C3, really good shade range with this as well. I've never tried the foundation, but this, absolutely beautiful. Let's go on to powder, I think, before we go into color products. I have 2 pressed and 2 loose. So the pressed I have are both Australian. This is the OXX Cosmetics Mattifying and Setting Pressed Face Powder. This is incredible. I think this was like $4 at Kmart. And it is blurring. It set my face down without looking cakey. I would recommend this for all skin types. I feel like there was 2 shades. I feel like the translucent, and then there might have been like a deep translucent which had a tint to it. From memory, I think there was 2 shades. But if you are light, fair, medium, this is translucent. So good. Highly recommend. My other one is also drugstore from Australis. The Fresh and Flawless Pressed Powder. This is not a new product, but it is brand new to me. They have repackaged to all lime. I think it used to be black. I have the shade Light Beige, which is a perfect shade for me. So I can use this as a foundation as well. But I did use this to set my face and I still really like it. Kind of like, This is very similar to the MAC Studio Fix powder. I find them extremely comparable, full coverage pressed powder foundation that you can also set your face with. So really, really impressed with that. I know I'm late to the party with that one though. And then for my loose, the NARS Light Reflecting Setting Powder Loose in Translucent Crystal. This is for your dry skin, mature skin, completely undetectable. For me, this isn't my long wear glam. This is more for everyday setting, be about your day. And then if I want full on glam, long wear, blurring, smoothing, all of that, I go for the Huda Beauty. I have the Cherry Blossom Cake. I searched far and wide for this. I couldn't get it on Sephora Australia website. It was just always sold out. So I think I bought this from, I want to say Cult Beauty. I think that's where I bought it. Anyway, doesn't matter. I got it. And this is just stunning. So this is what I'll pull out if I'm going out and want glam, long wear. Because it's one of those baking powders. Whereas this is your more everyday, really nice, undetectable powder. Okay, let's do cream bronzer. I actually have a lot of cream bronzers. I had a really good year for cream bronzer, and then I've only got one powder bronzer, so it's all about the creams. First one is the Australis. I have 2 shades. I always had Summer Fling when it first launched, the Dewy and Daring bronzer, and then I recently got one of the new shades in Soulmate, which is a lot more warmer, more bronzy kind of shade, and then the Summer Fling is more of a contour shade for me. But I can still use it as a bronzer. It's kind of like that neutral in between. This is a really nice formula. It is comparable to the Mecca Max, except I think the Mecca Max is more of a cream and this is more, a little bit juicier. It's a little bit dewier on the skin. Whereas the Mecca Max is very much a good product to put under for layering. Whereas this has got that emolliency that it's kind of nice as just more of a natural everyday wear kind of product if you're wearing all creams. Still stunning. Love the shades, love the formula, absolutely nailed it. I have from OXX Cosmetics the Bronze Balm. This, I feel like OXX Cosmetics is either the best products or the absolute worst products. Like, they were reoccurring in my worst makeup and they are reoccurring in my best makeup. Like, I feel like they're not in between. They're either best or worse. It's like, that's the game you play. I might actually card the OXX Cosmetics video that I did because it was very hit and miss. So this is in the shade Fawn. There are 2 shades and this one's really nice. I can't remember if this was the warmer or cooler toned one, but either way I actually really like this tone. It's just really creamy, blendable, smooth. It's a luxury formula. For $6, it's astounding. I have from Revolution, this is the Ultra Cream Bronzer. I have the shade Medium. Both of these I bought because of Tanika. So she heavily influences me, but I love it. I have no complaints here. I love the recommendations. So I got the medium one because it's more cooler toned. I do feel like it's a little bit too dark. Like, I just have to touch it and then I'm blending for days. But it's still definitely workable. But keep that in mind if you're someone that doesn't like overly pigmented things. This is definitely for medium skin tones. There's no 2 ways about it. So, but I do like that it is cooler toned. Anyway, it's still a really nice cream bronzer. Definitely recommend. And then the last one is from Rose Inc. This is the cream bronzer in Kawaii. This is our most natural of the bunch. Actually, similar to Australis. This one's just a really nice natural everyday kind of cream bronzer. The color is just stunning, like so complementary to fairer skin tones. And yeah, I like reaching for this because I don't have to worry about accidentally going overboard. It's just going to look really nice and natural on my skin. It's a great formula. And then I have one powder bronzer from DB Cosmetics. It's the Get Glowing Pressed Mineral Bronzer in the shade Barcelona Bronze. Perfect fair skin toned bronzer. The formula is really soft, finely milled, so soft it almost feels creamy even though it's not. It's definitely a powder. It's just such a lush bronzer and you can just get this at your local chemist if you're Australian, so definitely give that one a try. I have a lot of blush. obviously it's been a very big year for blush. Let's start with my Models Prefer liquid blush. These are fantastic. I would say they're comparable to the Rare Beauty, but not so overly pigmented because they've got that nice serum-y texture, easy to blend. The colors, I feel like they're all really warm, summery colors. I'd like to see some more softer colors from them, but they might extend. I have the shade Fruity and such a pretty kind of raspberry, reddy, strawberry color. And it doesn't look this heavy on my face. It really blends out and is got a translucency to it. So it's a very, very pretty formula. I've got the Australis Dewy and Daring. They just absolutely are having a comeback, Australis are. I have the shades Girl Next Door and Pixie Dream Girl. I also have another one, but these ones I definitely prefer. This was the first one I got, the Girl Next Door, which is your most neutral of the bunch. And then this is one of their new shades, which is Pixie Dream Girl, which is a really nice, soft, girly pink. Really, really pretty one. And same formula as the bronzer. It's got that real natural dewiness to it. This is not new, but I've always wanted to try this. This is the Nudies Matte All Over Face Blush in Bareback. It is the perfect neutral, like super soft, neutral shade. If that's what you love, this is the perfect shade. Then I brought both just to show you the comparison, but the MCO Beauty Soft Matte Beauty Wand, which is a dupe for I Have the Charlotte Tilbury, they're very comparable. I will be honest, Charlotte Tilbury just is that little bit more of a luxury formula in the softness and the tone of it. But if you are not willing to spend the money on this, just get this. It is not such a big difference that I think it's not worth getting. I know minute differences in makeup, so I'm being very picky here. This is still fantastic, the MCO Beauty one. So, I mean, the packaging is identical, but the actual product looks the same. It's just once it's on the cheek, it looks the tiniest bit different, but it's essentially the same thing. Okay, from Revolution, we have the multi-use balm that doesn't have a freaking shade on it, which is super annoying. But I'm pretty sure it was called Sun-Kissed Nude. I really tried to remember the name of it, Sun-Kissed Nude. Anyway, you guys loved this when I wore it in a video. It looks like quite intense in the pan, but it is probably my sheerest blush. It's super sheer. Very oily emollient, but it looks so good on the cheeks. It does. So if you have dry skin, you would eat this up. You would love it. For me, I can only wear this on a super natural makeup day where I'm not doing powders and anything like that, just like a pop it on kind of situation. But the color looks so nice on my skin tone. Okay, next we have the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Blush. Now this is controversial. I had the original ones that weren't luminous and I did not like. I actually decluttered them. They were patchy. They just didn't look that nice. Well, I said, let me try the luminous. I'm doing a full face of e.l.f. Let me try the luminous. Delightful. Absolutely delightful. This is the shade Maui. Wow. Wowie Maui, I tell you what. It's actually very similar to this, the Nude Sticks, in that it's that perfect, super neutral, soft blush for fairer skin tones. But this has a really nice amount of luminosity. In the actual pot, it looks like it's straight up glitter, but once it's on your face, it just looks really natural and just delightful. It's just delightful. Definitely recommend. I don't know about the other shades, but the Maui is really nice. And then we have powder blush. First one is from RMS. They brought out a new shade. This is my favorite blush formula, so I didn't bring the others, but this is a new shade. This is Bohemian Girl. I wanted all three, but I do not need all three, so I picked one. This one is a very pinky, peachy, almost like the NARS Orgasm, but I want to say probably more peachy than pink. Absolutely stunning. I don't know what else to say. It's just the best form. It's like baked gelée. It's like powder creamy deliciousness. Next I have from W7, this is the Blush Rebel in the shade Striptease. This is a dupe for all the NARS powder blushes. It's exactly the same formula. $5-ish, maybe less. It's around $5. It's insane. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? This is a buttery, soft formula. And I know a few of you have bought this on my recommendation and you're like, this is amazing. It's amazing. I wish they would bring out more shades because you don't even need NARS with this. Like, this is the same. And I hate saying that because it's NARS is the original. It's their, you know, intellectual property. But this is fantastic. Fantastic. For like 95% off, you know? And then lastly of the powder blushes is the Mecca Max. So Mecca Max I didn't love this year, but we've got 3 products that made it into my favorites. We had a lot of products made it into my worst makeup. So this is one of the ones that I love. I have the biggest fly I've ever seen attracted to the lights. So I got 2 shades. I have Guava Blossom, which is a really, really pretty shade. It's actually like the same color as my top. And then I have Cocoa Rose, which is your perfect neutrally blush. Popper color and neutral. So these still have that little bit of powderiness, but it still looks really nice on the cheek. So I am forgiving in that sense. They have really nice blush shades and the formula is, I wouldn't say it's the best formula I've ever tried, but for the price point, the colors, I still think it's a really, really nice blush. So that's why I do recommend these. I do, and they're very cute. All right, highlighter, we have not much because it's not really been the year of highlighters, has it? But I've still tried quite a few. We'll stay on the theme of Mecca Max. This is the powder highlighter in Opal Glow. This is one of my favorite highlighters. It's really soft. If you are someone that doesn't like highlighters because they're just so intense, I recommend this one because it's really soft and natural, and that's why I love it, because I get that really nice glow, but it doesn't look like I'm wearing highlighter. It just looks like a luminous flash of color, of light reflecting. Almost like how the Hourglass ones are really soft, this one is too. So I really like, and I love a pinky highlighter, so I definitely recommend these. I have from Australis, their highlighters are just as good as their blush and bronzer. I have the shade It Girl, really nice. I love this shade. It's more on the goldy side, but not so gold that it's too dark for me. So I really, really like the shade. I love the way it looks on my skin. It's not heavy. It's still natural in line with their other products. And then lastly, I have the DB Cosmetics Highlight Illuminating Beauty Wand in Melted Rose. This is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Same as the others. It looks really nice. It just looks like you have that beautiful natural lit from within kind of color. I don't know if this camera is doing it justice, but it looks lovely on the skin, take my word for it. I have 3 mascaras. Oh my god, they're all Australian. That is just, like, I had a lot of mascaras that I loved this year, but these ones are actually amazing. We have the Emco Beauty Waterproof Full Lash Mascara. I'm actually wearing the Extend Lash today, the brown black. I love it. This is better. I don't know why no one talks about it. Full Lash Mascara Waterproof. It makes my lashes full, long. Just, this is like my going out mascara. It's good. And I know it doesn't budge. It's so good, and literally no one talks about it. Because everyone's obsessed with the Extend Lash, which I get, like, it's nice. But this, I personally think it's better. If you think the Extend Lash is okay, try the waterproof one. From Lounge Face, I can never say this, Lounge Face Lash. Great. This is a tubing mascara. This is the only tubing mascara I put in. I have a lot of tubing mascaras that I love, but this year, this one took me by surprise and I fell in love with it. I really did. It's really good. It's Loz Curtis's brand, you know, the YouTuber from back in the day, the Australian girl. This is her brand. she sent this to me and I'm very grateful because I love it. This makes my lashes lift, curl and volume. This is a voluminous tubing. Because you know how a lot of tubing mascaras are a bit too natural? This one is big time. And then I have fallen in love with the Mecca Max Wink Ink Super Mascara. This is not the tubing one. The tubing one is Wink Ink. No. This is the Wink Ink. I can't remember. This is not the tubing one. Love. This makes my eyelashes wispy. So different to the other two. The other two are more luminous. This one is wispy. It looks like I'm wearing demi wispies. They look soft. They look natural, but they look wispy. Okay, we're going into eyes now. Eyes and lips, and that's it. Let's start with my singles. My RMS Eyelights, they brought out 2 new shades. This is my favorite single eyeshadow formula. For me, cream shadows, anything like liquid shadows, they always crease on my eyes. These don't. They're super creamy, easy to blend. They don't dry down fast, but once they dry down, they don't move. They're like a natural shimmer. They definitely got a punch, but they're not like over the top, so they're perfect for every day. If you like a little bit of shimmer but not too much, these are perfect. So I have Eclipse and Moon Dust, and then I also have Blaze and Strobe, but they're from the previous year. So these came out this year and they're just beautiful. This champagne one, oh my lord. From Hourglass, we have the Voya eyeshadow stick. I have in Solstice. Same idea with the RMS. These are a little bit more on the natural side. So they are a shimmer, like a metallic shimmer. They're not heavy intenso, but that's what I like about it. I just go, put it on, go about my day. So these are your like perfect everyday wear eyeshadow sticks rather than your over the top, full on sparkle. And then the Kind Collective came out with their limited edition holiday collection. And this came in a pack of 5 for $25. And then they went on sale. When I released the video, they were like on sale for like $12.50 for 5. Now the formula is not as good as Laura and Hourglass, I will admit. What I want to say is some are better than others. The really light ones, I would say, are not as good. They're just, the pigment isn't there. But they don't have names, so I'm really sorry, so I can't tell you the shades. But the purple, the bronze and the taupe are really lovely. Really lovely. But I would probably give a miss these two, but you don't have a choice because they come in a pack. But really impressed with the Kind Collective. I feel like their formulas are getting better and better. Okay, and then we have eyeshadow palettes. So it's just 2 brands. I actually didn't buy many eyeshadow palettes this year. So 2 of them I bought and then the other 2 were gifted. So I have a lot of eyeshadow stuff, but I did buy more singles this year than actual palettes. So the first one is the Natasha Denona Mini Starlet palette. I don't have all the Natasha Denona palettes, but when she does like these super neutrals, I buy them because she's just the best formula and the color stories are just on point. So the Mini Starlet, oh my god, so beautiful. She did catch us out though. I think she had good strategy. She brought this out first. Everyone scrambled for it. And then like a week later, she sneak peeked I Need a Nude. If I had known, I probably would have just gotten the I Need a Nude. But I'm not mad that I have this. It's absolutely stunning. So yes, I bought I Need a Nude. I also have the Retro. So I only have 2 of the mini palettes. This is my perfect color story. It's just stunning. I don't even know what to say. The shimmers, the mattes, they're all just stunning, equally perfect, 10 out of 10. I love it. And then we have from Alter Ego sent me a lot of palettes this year and I'm very grateful. So if you don't know Alter Ego, they make affordable versions of really popular eyeshadow palettes. So ABH, Natasha Denona, Huda Beauty are the main ones, I want to say. Anyway, they sent me a whole bunch. I have a discount code. I always have everything linked in my description. Anyway, these were my 2 favorites. So we have from Alter Ego the Mirage, which is the Huda Beauty Empowered palette. I was so impressed with this. When I used this palette on camera, the look, it was so good. I gotta say, It was so good. I did like a deep plummy gold look. I know you're thinking that doesn't work. I made it work. So nice. I would leave out these cream shadows. I don't think they really hit the mark there, but literally everything else, perfection. And then on the other spectrum of color story, we have from Alter Ego the Coastal palette. So this is the Huda Rose Quartz. I think it's the Rose Quartz. I don't have the originals. Anyway, the formula is outstanding. I would say it is very similar to the Huda Beauty formula, like very similar. Because I do have Huda Beauty's Naughty Nude palette, which is, oh, that's a 10 out of 10. Seriously, so close. Like the shimmers are so delicious. They're so good. So definitely check them out. Oh, so pretty. Sorry, just having a moment with eyeshadows. And then lastly, we have lips. So lips is also one of my favorite categories. I have 1,000,001, but I also use a lot of lip products. Like I'll go through them. So first one I wanted to mention was the MCO Beauty Perfect Pout Lip Liner in Cheeky Chat, which is the dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. So I brought that with me so you could see. They're basically the same. So I have Pillow Talk is the Charlotte Tilbury, which is one of my favorites. Perfect Nude. And the Cheeky Chat, get it? Cheeky Chat, Pillow Talk. It's the same. I find it pretty much the same. I don't find really a difference in, I just think it's so similar. It's not even, I can't even really describe a huge difference. So they're basically the same. And then the other lip liner I got this year that I loved is the RMS Beauty Go Nude Lip Pencil in Nighttime Nude. So this is your, oh, it's got the diffusing side. This is a little bit of a plummy brown, but I have some lip colors that suits, and one of them is in my favorites. But this would be really nice with just a gloss over it too. It does diffuse to be a little bit lighter. I'm just going to diffuse it for you. So it does go a little bit lighter. It's just really lovely. So it is more on the creamy side, but I do feel like it dries down. Okay, let's categorize this by a lip gloss. This is my second of the Australis lip glaze in Cherry Bomb. I have finished one already, and I got it in April. And I finished it like a month ago. So that's pretty fast for someone who has lots of lip products. I use this every day. It was in my handbag. Anyway, this is a fresh new one. I love her. She'll always be in my presence. It is a plummy red. It just looks so juicy on the lips. I really recommend it. The Fenty Beauty Cream. This came in the holiday trio, so I want to say this is a permanent shade, and the other one, there was one new shade, but I'm not too sure. I'll find out when I look to link this. This is the shade Fenty Glow. It is like this perfect soft nude. And like the Fenty formula is my favorite. It just goes with literally anything. I thought the cream formula would be too pigmented, but it's still quite light. It's just a step above a lip gloss. The DB Cosmetics Lip Boost Plumping Treatment, absolutely lovely. Specifically this shade in the buff, so nice. Isn't that such a lovely color? And then this is for holiday from Too Faced. The Lip Injection Maximum Plump in Maple Syrup Pancakes. I did use this in a video recently trying on new makeup, and the color is like this soft brown red metallic. Oh, it's not metallic, it's more of a shimmer, but it's still soft because it's a lip gloss, so it doesn't look this heavy on your lips. It's right up my alley. I have one lipstick. It's the Kind Collective Cream Shine, I think it's called a hydrating lipstick in Desert Rose. This is like the perfect nude but with a flush of color. So if you're someone that likes nude but you still want a little bit of color, because this is a cream, it's really, really pretty on the lips. It's got that pigment, but it's not heavily pigmented, so it still looks really natural on the lips. So definitely check that one out. Then I have the NYX Smooth Whip Matte Lip Cream in Latte Foam, and it really does smell like a coffee. It's crazy. Anyway, this is a really nice color. It's got that really beautiful soft blurred, very comfortable but matte lip. So it doesn't completely dry down. It's not transfer proof, but it is matte, it is long wear, and it's still comfortable. These are the same product. I just brought both shades. The Maybelline Ultra Matte, unbelievable. I recommended this to so many people. So my favorite shade is more Mocha, which is this color that matches the RMS eyeliner, lip liner. It is, I get so complimented when I wear this shade. It's like a soft matte. It's not so, it's very pigmented, but it doesn't look heavy on the lips. It still looks super wearable. So I went back and I bought more Auburn. They're all called more something. This is more Auburn. So more of your warmer version. I will swatch the other one because they're so pretty. So that's more Mocha and then that's more Auburn. They're just such pretty colors and the formula is so creamy. It doesn't feel drying at all. For a matte formula, it doesn't feel dry at all. It's so lush. And then lastly is from Rose Ink. This is their lip crayons, lip color. This is in the shade 16. It's the word 16, not the number. And this is the same idea. I love this matte long wear lip, but it doesn't feel heavy like a liquid lipstick does. So this is a red, but it's a really soft, I call this like a day red. It's a really soft wearable red. It's so delightful. I love this. I've worn it quite a lot. There was a big tip and I'm starting to wear away at it. I really love it. I find that if I want to have a punch of color on my lips but I don't want to look full glam, I always tend to reach for this. So that I really recommend. They have other shades too. The formula is lovely, but I just happen to have the red one. That is it, guys. I've officially talked your ears off. I can't believe I finished it and I'm still alive. I was looking at all of this and I was like, I'm gonna be here for 3 hours. But I feel like I managed to get it all out and say my opinions. So I would so appreciate if you guys give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your favorites for the year down below. I love hearing your recommendations. It helps me kind of figure out what people like, what people want to see. And also I like to try new things. I like to test makeup. It's my favorite thing to do. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a lovely, happy holidays, Christmas, whatever it is that you celebrate. Have a lovely break. I'm filming this before I leave, but I'm currently on holidays right now. So forgive me if I don't reply to comments too quickly, but I will at some point reply. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.